50, 45, there goes Davis!
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back! Auburn's going to win the football game! Auburn's going to win the football game! He ran the missed field goal back! He ran it back 109 yards! They're not going to keep him off the field tonight! Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins! Auburn has won the Iron Bowl! Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see!
Oh, welcome in everybody to another episode of the Dream Wager, episode 312. Oh, and Elvis, it's over. I can't unmute you, kid. Whatever it is, I can't unmute you. I muted you, but can't unmute you now. But good to be with you guys. This is episode 312 of the Dream Wager. Today is September 27th, 2023. I'm your host, D-Rock, and that is my fault, E. How you doing
I'm back.
today?
We doing good, Dill. You know, been a rough day, long day, but we're here, Dill. Got some breaking news as well, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, we have breaking news in the NBA right now. Damian Lillard didn't get his wish. He is not getting traded to the Miami Heat. Instead, we have a 3-team deal. The Milwaukee Bucks get Damian Lillard. The Trailblazers get Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Tamai Cameron, 2029 first-round pick. And the Suns get Nusik Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nazir Little, and Keon Johnson. So very interesting. Who do you think won this trade?
Dill, it might have to take a few months, you know, maybe even a half a season to see who really won it. But you know, just looking at the trade deal on a piece of paper, I'm gonna have to say the Bucks. But I'm gonna be honest, the Suns are a close second, Dill. So I think the Bucks. The only reason the Bucks won this trade just because there was rumors. We know we were speculating Giannis possibly leaving the Bucks in a year, in 2 years from now. You know, him signing to one of these big markets of Miami, New York, LA. You know, maybe something in Texas. Who knows? But it was a lot of conversation saying that Giannis will be on the move if the Milwaukee can't land a superstar, and then boom.
Yeah.
Around 2:00, breaking news. So I think they win the trade just because they'll add a second superstar to put aside Giannis, and you also get to keep Giannis for the next 8 years possibly.
Yeah, 8 years is a stretch, but I agree. I think they did win the trade basically just because we've heard rumors that, you know, Giannis is not kind of happy and he might be on the move in a year or two. So, I mean, you know, I honestly don't know if Milwaukee got better. That's my thing. Drew Holiday was a monster on both sides of the court. But if this solidifies Giannis staying for another 4 to 5 years, then they really had to do what they had to do to keep Giannis in Milwaukee. But as for the Suns, I think they got a lot of depth now. And that was their main concern. Yeah, they got rid of Ayton. They knew bad blood was but not bad blood, but just he didn't want to be there. It was obvious. And so he's on the move to Portland now, and the Suns get an older but still a good center in Jokic. They get Grayson Allen. I think that's a good piece off the bench as well. And they got long, lengthy defenders, something that they kind of lacked in the playoffs last season. So what do you think about the Suns getting all of this depth?
Dill, I think that's much needed. You know, you got that firepower, you know, Book, Beal, Kevin Durant, even though it's, you know, we yet to see the finished product on the floor, Dill, we know they're going to need some depth. We saw it in the playoffs, Dill, you know, KD, Book, basically averaging like 70 points between them, and then the bench comes in, he can't get nothing, and then, you know, the lead dwindles down in the second half, and then Denver was able to win the series, 5? So, yeah. You know, I just feel like with the depth around, now they're a championship contender. Now they're a for real team. Yeah, you know what, KD, Book, and Beal, yeah, they're a championship contender, but they have no depth. If two of them are off the floor, I'm not gonna say they're gonna lose every time, but it's gonna be a difficult task, you know, going, you know, against 105 most of the time, especially in the playoffs. In the regular season, you'd be able to, you know, get away with that. But come playoff time, it's gonna be tough to get away with it, though. So now they got key pieces. I like the Grayson Allen. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like that is going to be a great rotation. I like the Johnson, Nazir. Those are great pieces still, you know. So I think that's what makes it a championship team. And then the big question mark to me will be Nurkic health. We know when Nurkic healthy, he's a double machine. He's going to give you around 12 and 15 a night, you know. So if he's healthy throughout the season and the playoff run deal, I'm telling you right now, the Suns are going to be a major threat in the West.
Yeah, that the biggest if they can stay healthy, because if they can, they are by far probably the most talented team on paper. You know, you got Booker, you got Beal, you got KD, Nurkic, Eubanks backing up Nurkic. He'll probably see some time. Grayson Allen backing up Bradley Beal. So a lot of talent on the Suns, I agree. And as for the Bucks starting lineup, now you got Damian Lillard, you got Cunningham at shooting guard, you got Middleton at the 3-4, you got Giannis, and you got Brook Lopez, and then you got Bobby Portis Jr., you got Crowder still, you got Beasley. So not as deep, but they got their guy. You know, he still has 4 years left on his contract. And as for Drew Holiday, he's on the Blazers, but we know that the Blazers are a rebuilding team. They're looking to trade him. He has 1 year left on his contract. Where do you see a potential suitor? Do you think maybe this is where Miami gets their guard?
Possibly, you know, definitely Miami. I definitely see him going to a contender, you know, somebody in a win now situation. So maybe a team like Philly, you know, somebody like that.
Yeah, Philly would be interesting.
Philly, maybe nah. I would have said
maybe
the
the Knicks.
But the Mavericks don't make sense. They already got Luka and Kyrie. Miami, out west. Hey, maybe you bring somebody like that to Memphis. Though I think if you bring Drew Holiday with Marcus Smart, remember Marcus Smart is already there. You bring those two defensive prowls with Jared Jackson. I think they can motivate the team around them and possibly be a great defensive
But I
team.
don't. I agree. I think that's a good fit, but he has to start.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you know, John Morant's out for the first 20 games of the season. We know that. So he's going to start the first 20 games, and then you see where you at from there.
Yeah, I just don't think this time in his career he's going to be a backup. Yeah, he'll start for the first month and a half. But
he starts alongside of Ja and have Marcus Smart come off the bench. Something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. But I will say this. I think the market will be high for Drew Holiday. But yeah, blockbuster trade right in the smack middle of the day. So I agree. I think right now, just because it solidifies Giannis staying put for at least the next 4 or 5 years, and maybe it prolongates and elongates the window for the Milwaukee Bucks, because it was shrinking. I will say that, but you get a solidified Hall of Famer like Damian Lillard, then you know you're going to be put over the top. So I like the move for everyone. I think everyone really won.
It's Blazers, a win-win. You rarely see a win-win situation for all teams around. You know, Blazers get 2 All-Stars in return and draft picks. The Suns get rotational players, which was much needed, and a big man.
Yeah.
And then you get a superstar alongside of Giannis. It's a win-win all around. Though.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You rarely see that in the NBA, but, you know, I'm glad everyone come to terms. What do you make of Jimmy Butler saying there's tampering going on in the NBA, or is he just mad?
He's just mad because he knows his championship window just went out the window. He's not going to be able to beat the Bucks.
Any truth to it?
Absolutely not. When was the Bucks the front runners to land Damian Lillard?
I just started hearing about. Free agent. Yeah, I just heard it. I just started hearing the Bucks put their name in about a week ago. But apparently Woj came out and said, yeah, Miami was his number one, but Miami didn't have the package or anything of value of what Portland got back. They got back a lot. So
2 All-Stars, 2029 first-round pick.
Yeah,
you know, got good players, man. Ayton's gonna be there for the next 4 years. He's under contract for not a crazy amount of money either. You know, I think it's a great deal.
Yeah, can't wait. I think we're a little less than a month away, so we'll start doing our NBA previews. Elvis, remind me about that. But yeah, can't wait. I think we're like 14, 15 days away from the NHL as well, so we're locked and loaded. But Elvis, let's recap real quick. Sunday Night Football. Steelers take care of the Las Vegas Raiders 23-18. They cover the +3. They win outright. Kenny Pickett looked really good. Jimmy Garoppolo, he did not look good, in my opinion. He threw for over 300 yards, but 3 interceptions. He was sacked. He was constantly under pressure. Josh Jacobs, I guess they ran the ball okay. Nothing really substantial, in my opinions. Other than not being able to guard Devontae Adams, I thought that defense did really good. What'd you think of the Steelers game?
Still, not much from it. Kenny Pickett, he looked better than what I expected to, so I'll give him that credit. The defense looked great. And still, Devontae Adams, still the best wide receiver. Well, Justin Jefferson, that dude, I can't front. But Devontae Adams, proves in, year out, he's one of the best wide receivers in all the game of football, deal. So Jimmy G needs to get a little together. I just feel like they gotta establish the run better with Josh Jacobs. We saw him lead the league in rushing this year. The first 3 games of the season, he's been doing shit. So I think they gotta address that problem. And I think Josh McDaniels kind of fucked it up at the end.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him an idiot, Dill, but it was definitely not
bad.
The right business decision.
No, down 8, winds up kicking the field goal. You weren't getting the ball back. I don't understand. They got the ball back, but it was like 10 seconds. They didn't have anything left. So I don't think he's a good coach. I think he's a good offensive coordinator, but I just don't. Some people just aren't meant to be a head coach. I think another stupid decision by Josh McDaniels, but doesn't look like Devontae Adams is happy. He came out afterwards. He said, we need to win. Like, this is unacceptable. So standards are high for him. It looks like he's the only one really doing anything. So big win for the Steelers. They moved to 2-1. Las Vegas moves to 1-2. And as for the Monday night doubleheader, Eagles take care of business 25-11 in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, kind of regress. This looks like the normal Tampa Bay team that I think we're going to be accustomed to seeing. Jalen Hurts looked okay. He didn't look phenomenal, but got the win. And why is everyone mad about the tush push? I think that's so fucking that's so fucking stupid in my eyes. I think you're not going to change it. And to be honest, stop it. Here's an idea. Why don't you stop it? It was just like and if you do try to change the rules, they're just going to quarterback run with Jalen Hurts. They did it all year with Tom Brady. He was the best to ever do it at the quarterback sneak. I don't think it's an issue. I hate people getting mad over it. It's retarded in my opinion. But what'd you think of the game?
Still, to be honest, Jalen Hurts didn't look too impressive. He looked better, but 2 bad interceptions. I know the one with Swift was a little miscommunication, but you got to do better, Dale. I think Swift had a tremendous game. They're running the fire out of the ball. I didn't expect them to be this good this season. I just think anybody can run out over that offensive line, Dale. And then Baker Mayfield finally came back to earth, 15 for 25, 146, 1 tub, 1 interception, Dale. I'm not going to say this is what I expected, but I did expect some regression, Dale. Just not this much. Definitely his worst game of the season thus far. They couldn't really get that going, offensively, passing or running. So give credit to that Eagles defense, looking elite, looking healthy. Jalen Carter with that big strip, Dill. It's just, the Eagles offense haven't looked as efficient as it did at times last season. So that's something that's concerning to me, Dill. And with the push, Dill, I'm not going to say I'm with you, but I can see why people are mad. That's all I'm gonna say. I can see why. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of with you with you got to stop it or figure out something. But Dill, it is like a 95% rate conversion.
And Tom Brady's was 99%. So like it's
yeah,
stupid.
but I hear you, Dill. Like I said, I'm not really don't really have a big opinion on it, but. They do it on back-to-back downs. Tom Brady was
then stop it.
Down and then 4th down.
Stop it. Oh my! And then now you have people coming out saying, "Oh, I'm gonna start headhunting you. I'm gonna start hurting you." Like they're really mad about it. They're too emotional thinking about it. I think it's ridiculous. You mentioned Jalen Carter. How the fuck did this man drop to number 9? He is an absolute beast. you sit there and you're like, wow, I can't believe he dropped to number 9. And of course, the fucking Philadelphia Eagles got him. So mad about that. But yeah, Jalen Carter's an absolute fucking savage. The defense is, playing well. They're running the ball is just, it's just ridiculous. They might be one of the best teams running the ball. AJ Brown had himself a day as well. And I thought even though their secondary was banged up a little bit, no one really had a big game outside of Mike Evans. Even he kind of stayed in check. He had that one touchdown, but 5 catches for 60 yards. They kind of came back down to earth, and Philadelphia has shown us, hey, we are legit. We are a top 5 team. So love that. Big win for them. I get the under cashes. I laid it with the Eagles, so 2-0 in that game. And then the Monday night late night special, Bengals get the win finally in the win column. Joey B winds up playing. Still not 100%, nowhere near 100%. He came out after the game. He said, I am sore as shit. So Matthew Stafford turned the ball over twice. Besides the turnovers, I thought he played pretty well. He did go over his passing yards, but other than that, I thought Matthew Stafford played pretty well. Tutu Atwell, Puka Nacua, he went over. Tyler Higbee had himself a really good game as well. And Jamar Chase, he finally showed up, 12 catches for 141 yards. I thought he was going to come back and win the fantasy for me in one league. But yeah, other than that, much needed win for the Bengals, I'll say, because if they started 0-3, it would have been time to panic.
Yeah, Dale. Impressive win. Joe Burrow look better. Don't look like his MVP caliber self, but we know he's nursing that, that calf injury deal. So the fact that, I don't know if you heard the comments, Jamar Chase, but he said, bro, the fact that you playing, you're a dog. You're just a dog. So I got to give credit to Joe Burrow for coming out there and playing. Joe Mixon finally had himself a good day. I want to say a great day, but he had himself a good day. He made his name be heard, 19 for 65, 1 tub. Wasn't a great, but still. This Rams offense struggled. We know because Cincinnati's defense, it ain't a powerhouse. It's good, with Hendrickson coming off the edge and whatnot.
They couldn't guard him.
They couldn't guard him. But other than that, they offensively couldn't really get nothing going. What's 10 carries, 38 yards going to get you? Tutu Atwell had that
22-yarder, yeah.
Which should have been a touchdown in my opinion. But other than that, though, they really didn't have no explosive plays besides that one that Tutu also caught down the field, but that was too little, too late, though. So I just feel like the Rams offense just kind of idled for a little bit. Couldn't get really any big plays going. So give credit to the Bengals defense. Joe Burrow don't look like Joe Burrow yet, but Jamar Chase had himself a day. I could tell that the coaching staff made it an importance to get Chase the ball. I understand T. Higgins. He had a couple drops still. I don't know what's going on with T. Higgins, but Jamar Chase definitely showed out, and Dale, he was able to sneak me out of victory pipe. 0.40, Dale. What a comeback.
Yeah, no, big win for you in fantasy. And yeah, Jamar Chase finally had himself a game. I thought actually Tyler Boyd had some very key catches on third down as well. His stats are not going to blow you out, 5 catches for 39 yards, but I don't know what's wrong with T. Higgins. Besides that one game, he had a pretty good game. He caught all the touchdowns. Other than that, he's just not been it. So don't know what's going on. Hopefully he can find it because he is a really good player. But yeah, Joe Burrow, he is a dog for playing. And, all the sense, I didn't think he was going to play because the injury did look worse than what it appeared. But, he's a dog. And, like I said, the urgency of him needing to play, they couldn't start 0-3 because statistically coming back from 0-3, the odds of you actually making the playoffs are very slim. So credit to him and credit to the Bengals. Good win on the road. How did you end your week 3 overall? What was your record?
Overall, Dill, we went 9-6, Dill. So another positive week. I wish I would have went 10-5. That would have been much better. But, it was a couple bets in there. Minnesota mostly, but, 9-6 for week 3, Dill. So I'll take that.
Yeah, so for me, another positive week as well. So two weeks in a row now, 9-5, up 3 units. Sunday night, like I said, Pittsburgh +3. They keep the points. They didn't need it. The under in Tampa Philly game went under. Philly -4.5, Cash, and Matthew Stafford over his passing yards. So 9-5, up 3 units. So back-to-back winning weeks for the brand. Elvis, let's make it 4 weeks. But before we do that, I am very interested to see your power rankings this weekend. We will start with number 1, and I will let you lead the dance. What do you got, kid?
Dill, give me the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not going to move it out the rightful spot. As of right now, they're still the best team in my opinion. Defense and offensively, Dill. Give me the 49ers number 1.
Yeah, I agree. 49ers are one. They took care of business, just blew them out of the water. And, I like Brock Purdy. I think he's above average quarterback. A lot of people blitz him. I've really noticed that. Like, a lot of teams are trying to blitz him to try to, pressure him and get him out of his mojo, but I think he's actually doing a really good job picking up the blitz and getting the ball out quick. So, teams are going to throw the kitchen sink at them every time they face them. But if they improve their pass protection a little bit, offensively, defensive, we know they're dogs. I got to keep them number 1, 3-0.
So, number 2, this team, new number 2. Give me the Miami Dolphins, Dill. After that offensive explosion, I had to bump them up to number 2, Dill. This might be the best team in the AFC. I'm not going to go there that far and make them crown them that, but Tua is your MVP front runner. Tyreek is your offensive player of the year front runner, so I got to respect it, Dill. And McDaniels is your head coach of the year front runner.
Yeah, I agreed. It's hard not to put a team that just dropped 70 points not at number 2. So, yeah, I agreed. They had 726 yards of offense last week against a good we thought a good defense. I don't think we could say that. They just let up 70 points. The Dolphins lead the NFL in total yards per game, 550 per game, passing 362 yards per game, 188 rushing yards a game. They're leading in everything. I guess the big takeaway, down the road, is they got to divide the backfield some way, like the workload. They got Raheem Morrison. They got Jeff Wilson Jr., who comes back from IR in 2 weeks. You got Salavan Aman. You got that new guy who just went off, Devon Aken. So they're bugging on the running back position. I just think they're eventually going to have to divide the workload a little bit. But
they did it without Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, and he's on pace to play this week against a big game in Buffalo. But I agree, Dolphins at number 2 for me.
Dill, at number 3, Dill, give me the reigning champs. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs, Dill. Patrick Mahomes, look like vintage Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce got to work himself in slowly but surely. Convenience Tony finally catching some balls, Dill. And that defense playing a little better than I expected them to. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs at number 3, Dill.
At 3, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. Big win on the road against the Bucks. And, the Bucks, they ranked 27th in passing yards. Their defense is flying around that. Like I said, Jalen Carter is just an absolute beast. Like I said, the secondary has to get a little better. Jalen Hurts, I think the passing game it has to be more efficient. It hasn't been the best. The running game is really good, but yeah, I think they need to figure out their skill positions a little better because, you saw 1 week AJ Brown crying, and I like it. I'm all for divas. It makes the league interesting. And then you saw the next week him get all the balls. So I think the one issue is the passing game, but I think they'll figure it out. I got Eagles at 3.
Dill, give me the Philadelphia Eagles at number 4, Dill. I'm with you 100%, Dill. I'm not going to say anything negative. The only thing that's concerning to me is their offense haven't really exploded yet. They haven't been as efficient as they were last season. So that's the only reason I had to hold them at number 4. Dude, that defense is playing lights out. Look good, especially on Monday night. They'll give me the Philadelphia at number 4.
Yeah, so number 4 for me, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. I just think that the way they bounce back after that first loss, my one concern with them is they drop a lot of passes, even in their wins. I know we can't really credit them. The Bears are just the worst team. They have to be.
They might be.
I was so wrong on that team, but they dropped 6% of their passes. It's tied for the 6th worst in the league. And, most of them did come in the first week, which is harmful. But, Kadarius Toney has to be better. But other than that, I do think they're gonna turn this thing around. Kansas, and now they have the Taylor Swift effect. Whew. Yeah, top 5 team for me. So give me the Chiefs at 4.
Dill, at number 5, Dill, I'm not going to overreact over one bad loss. Give me the Dallas Cowboys at number 5, Dill. I still think they're a top 5 team. I understand they got a bad loss on the road, but hey, Arizona played great. Give them credit. They ran the ball down the throat, Dill. But I still think Dak, with the defense behind Micah Parsons, I still think that's a top 5 team, Dill. I think they're going to bounce back. Even though they got a tough task against my Patriots this week, Dill, give me the Cowboys at number 5.
Yeah, so number 5 for me, I have the Buffalo Bills. Big jump.
Wow.
Big jump for me this week.
They went from outside the top 10 to top 5 team.
Yep. The offense after the bad performance week 1 with the turnovers, the offense has looked pretty solid the last 2 games, but I just think they make it hard for themselves on first down. Currently they're ranked 28th in the league in yards per play on first down. They're only averaging 3.4 yards per gain on first down. And, it jumps up in second down. They average 6.7 yards. So it kind of evens out, but I think they need to be better on first down. I still think of running the ball. They need to get better, but Josh Allen is Josh Allen. That defense seems like it's waking up. This week is the last week, and then hopefully Von Miller, that defense is going to get a burst. So yeah, I got Buffalo at number 5.
Dill, at number 6, give me the Buffalo Bills at number 6, Dill. Besides week 1, this team has been dominating. Let's just be frank, Dill. So the only reason they're not in my top 5 is, number 1, that was just a horrendous loss. And Zach Wilson marched down the field a couple of times and put up points on the board, Dill. So give me the Buffalo Bills at number 6. The only thing I would say, Josh Allen got to stop trying to jump over people.
Yeah. I just think the Jets or Zach Wilson just has his number. I don't know. It's crazy. For whatever reason it is, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. I don't know how the talent of Josh Allen loses to a guy like Zach Wilson. So it's just mind-boggling every time I think about it. But number 6 for me, I have the Dallas Cowboys. The biggest concern, I guess, for me with this team is the red zone offense. How many times did we see them go down the field and just settle for 3 points? It was Kellen Moore. And what did we say in the previews? The red zone offense for the Chargers is going to get better with Kellen Moore because of how good Kellen Moore was. So they've converted on 3 of their 4 chances against the Giants in the opener, and but they have scored a touchdown on just 3 of 11 red zones in the past 2 games. Last season, they didn't score a touchdown on just 16 of 56 red zone trips. They're already halfway to that, their total misses in just 3 games. The best teams in the red zone are able to run the ball, but they weren't able to run the ball against the Cardinals or the Cowboys, and that's concerning to me. I think receiving, they have a good receiving core. I think Dak could be a little more accurate, but he really didn't need to. But and I guess the jury's still out for the play calling and Mike McCarthy, but right now their defense is so legit. You can't put them outside the top 6, I feel like. So I got Dallas at number 6.
Dill, number 7, give me the Cleveland Browns, though. Deshaun Watson looked like Houston Deshaun Watson for once, Dill. Just 6 incompletions. Had himself a day. To me, he should have had 2 touchdowns to Amari Cooper, but one of the plays were called dead, Dill. That defense right now is the number 1 defense in football, Dill. The numbers don't lie. 10 points a game they're giving up. Least amount of yards rushing and passing. Give me the number 1 defense and the Cleveland Browns at number 7.
Yeah, number 7, I have the Baltimore Ravens. Not going to overly, jump to conclusions. I think they need to let Lamar cook a little better, or if that's the correct term. But I just think they need, just like how the Bears, their season's done. Just let Justin Fields do his thing. He is an elite quarterback when he has the ball in his hands, but you're taking the ball out of his hands. So I think, and also a big thing with the Ravens, injuries. Of their 11 projected starters entering the season, 5 of them have missed at least 1 game. Odell missed last week. Mark Andrews missed the first week. Left tackle Ronnie Stanley's going to be a Hall of Famer. J.K. Dobbins, he's out for the week. So through week 3, they have combined to miss a total of 8 games. Baltimore has been hit at the running back position. Gus Edwards, he has concussion. Justin Hill, he has a toe. They wind up signing Kenyon Drake, but I don't really know. I mean, there might be a chance where the Ravens will start a different running back in each of the first 4 games. So this explains why Lamar has had as many rushing yards, 193, as all of the running backs, just 200. So I think we don't need to overreact. I think the defense is going to come back and play. I got the Ravens at 7. At 7, yeah.
Still, at number 8, give me the Baltimore Ravens. Still, this team, you know me, Dill. I have them winning the Super Bowl. This was my Super Bowl team. This is my Super Bowl pick, Dill. I'm high on them, but Dill, Lamar Jackson's not playing at MVP form. He's been a little sloppy with the ball, I could say. I feel like the loss was on him as well, Dill. He took a bad sack with 20 seconds left. Justin Tucker, you got the best kicker like you say, of all time. And, I think you got to put him in position to at least attempt a 60-yard field goal. You made 1, you can make 2, So I'm going to give that loss to Lamar, Dill. The defense, I'm not too worried about the defense. The running game is a little concerned just because you need back-to-back. You need Lamar to have that repetition. Like, all right, this is going to be my running back. I want to see the same running back for a few games in a row, Dill. So that's a little concerning to me. But other than that, Lamar needs to clean it up a little bit. Give me the Baltimore Ravens at number 8.
Yeah, for number 8 for me, I have the Detroit Lions 2-1. I think, their offense is their offense is good. I will say I like Jared Goff. I think they scored 20 or more points in 12 straight games dating back to last season. However, I guess the one concern I have with them is running the ball. I think it could be more efficient. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, but they're just averaging the 11th most rushing yards per game. They're just averaging 111 yards per game through week 3, but they're just averaging 3.6 yards per rush attempt. That's 27th in the league. They picked up veteran David Montgomery, but he was sidelined. He's hurt. Jahmyr Gibbs, I guess he's still trying to find his groove. I think he'll only get better, but right now my one worry is the running the ball with them, and their defense actually came alive last week. So think defense, that new rookie linebacker, he's coming to play as well. So I like the Lions. I just think they need to run the ball a little more. And by the way, Ravens, they did sign Kyle Van Noy, Patriot linebacker, to
Super Bowl champ, man.
Yep. So they signed him. Good signing for that defense. I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, that's Lions at number 8 for me.
Dill, give me the Detroit Lions at number 9, Dill. I think it was a great bounce back win for the Detroit Lions, Dill. I still like to see a little more Jahmyr Gibbs involved in the offense, Dill. Amon-Ra Brown's just his need will keep going up, Dill. He's looking like a stud. The defense now with C.J. Gardner-Johnson being out for the remainder of the season, Dill, it's going to be a little concerning to me in the secondary. We know how poorly the secondary was last season. I just hope they don't regress to that, bad of a secondary as they did last season. This season with C.J. Gardner-Johnson kind of was turning that around. We saw how good he played week 1. I just hope they don't miss him too much for the rest of the season, Dill. Give me the Detroit Lions at number 9.
At number 9, I have the Cleveland Browns. Coming off a really impressive win against the Tennessee Titans. Deshaun probably was his best performance in a Browns uniform. Completed 82% of his passes. That's second best of his career. Before Sunday's game against the Titans, he ranked last in the NFL on off-target rate, only 27%. Now, did Watson turn a corner in one game, or did Cleveland just expose the bad secondary of Tennessee? I don't know. I think the jury's still out on that. I think the next 2 games, looking at their schedule right now, they have the Ravens and then the 49ers. That will tell us a lot if Watson and the Browns passing attack could really, I guess, carry Cleveland to the playoffs and to the promised land. So it's gonna hurt. They're down Nick Chubb, but Ford actually had a pretty good game as well. So we'll see. I have hope. I have a ticket. I am rooting for the Browns, but their next 2 games are very challenging. I have the Browns at number 9.
Dill, at number 10, Dill, to me, this team had one of the most impressive wins of the season, especially on the road, Dale. Give me the Indianapolis Colts
Wow.
at number 10, Dale. I got to give them credit. The defense playing great. We know that defense was able to make some noise last year. I didn't expect it to be as good as what we're seeing this year, Dale. The offense, Michael Pittman Jr., even the running game, Dale, the running game is actually making pretty good, Dale. The fact that Gardner Minshew was able to go on the road and beat this Baltimore Ravens team, Dale, it speaks volumes to me. I think this team is very well coached, and I think this team is going to be for real this season on, even when like you AR-15 comes back, Dale, kind of like the nickname. Give me the Indianapolis Colts at number 10, Dale. I think this team is for
You
real.
do like that nickname. I guess I like the Tennessee Titans. If you want to be honest, I ranked them at 19th for me. But the
Colts?
reason, the Colts, just because, they're showing some promise. They're averaging 4.6 yards per play. That's really not eye-opening to me. They're winning games, don't get me wrong, but you know it as much as me. In the NFL, you need to make explosive plays. You need to make big plays downfield. And besides 1 or 2 per game against the only, I guess, real target they have in Michael Pittman Jr., they really don't do that enough. And you need that. I think they're a young team. I think they're ahead of schedule, though. I like them. I think they are very well coached. But you got a rookie quarterback. He still gets banged up a little bit. He's already missing games, which is not a good sign. But they do have a good backup in Gardner Minshew. For number 10 for me, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Big win for them. I guess the biggest concern I have with the Seahawks is third down. They haven't finished better than 16th in third down conversion since 2015. So it's not just been an issue this year. It's been an issue they're just 3-13 on third downs, including the last second closing seconds when they need the ball, but just 3-13. That ranks 28th in the league, Elvis. They have too many weapons offensively, and it does look like Geno took a step back. Maybe he was playing above his head last year, but it doesn't look – he does have some very nice, accurate passes, but it does look like he's taken a step back a little bit. I worry on this team. It's another team that's able to move the ball, but they can't extend the drive on third down, and then their defense is always on the field. So should get healthier. They are experiencing some offensive line issues, but other than that, I have the Seahawks at number 10 right now.
Nice, Joe. Nice.
What are your honorable mentions? 11, 12. Do you have any?
Still,
I'm just curious.
The Packers at number 11, just because they are 2-1, sitting on top of the division. Though, so I gotta give them credit there. And then, realistically,
I'll say mine.
The Saints. I'm gonna give the Saints though.
So right now, for 11 for me is the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. They finally had a game against the Raiders that we just talked about where they got over 300 yards offensively. But, prior to that win, I think the run game, I mentioned it with another team, the run game is an issue. They're averaging just 48 yards per carry per game. That's just not good. That's not going to get you anywhere. It looks like Najee Harris has kind of had his days. They're kind of done. And for me, for number 12, I have the Green Bay Packers. I thought it was a very impressive win. Jordan Love, you like to see it. He's better than I thought. Still out, not out. I will say the jury's still up, but he is better than I expected. It seemed like the whole game he couldn't figure it out. First home game in Lambeau, and then the fourth quarter, it all just kind of clicked and he was kind of figuring out. And that's what you like to see. He's essentially a rookie quarterback. He only started one game last season, but you like to see a rookie, find his rhythm. And then at the end of the game where he put his hands up in Lambeau Field and the crowd is roaring, you kind of felt like it was finally his team, sitting behind Aaron. And Aaron did the same thing with Brett. So I don't know. This is a very historic franchise, and I like that for Jordan Love. I have no ill will against him. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is. So, yeah, I have Green Bay at 12. I will say this. The Jets aren't the worst team on my rankings. That's a positive. The Jets are not the worst.
Oh, Chicago?
Chicago's 32nd, Denver's 31st, Carolina's 30th, Tennessee is 29th, Vegas is 28th, Houston is 27th, Minnesota's 26th.
Damn.
Well, they're 0-3. They're 0-3.
I'm just, to hear
Yeah.
it.
I know, because they have so much talent. It's crazy. 25th, I have the Cardinals, and then 24th, I have Jets. They're bottom of the pack, and then I have the Giants at 23rd.
Cardinals are better than the Jets, though. I'm sorry.
We'll see. We're playing them, so we'll see. We're gonna go head to head. But Elvis, thank you for your. I wasn't actually surprised. We were just off like 1 or 2, but other than that, besides the Colts, I think you put them in there because you like that win. But I think
to me, it was the most impressive win of the week. Though I gotta give it to what a backup quarterback.
Cardinals beating the Cowboys had to be. It had to be.
They're at home. They're at home. They'll back up
Josh Dobbs.
They'll back up quarterback on the road in Baltimore. First, Baltimore.
Yeah, but that really didn't matter. Trayvon Diggs. They were running the ball down their throat. James Conner.
Exactly.
Trayvon Diggs wasn't going to help that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but but you were saying, oh well, they had a backup corner. They were on the road.
Backup quarterback. The Colts. I'm talking about the Colts, not the Cowboys. I'm talking about the Colts.
Oh,
They won a game with a backup quarterback.
But we could all say the backup quarterback's better than AR-15.
No.
What? Gardner Minshew is better than AR-15. He's been in the league over 6 years. Gardner Minshew, AR-15 has played 1 game. He can't even stay in the game. Oh, Elvis, don't tell me you think Anthony Richardson is better than Gardner Minshew. Come on now.
Still, this is my top 10 team for a reason. He's starting Sunday. We'll see.
Oh, wow.
We'll see.
All right.
Well, we were 3-1 team. Might be a 3-1 team. We'll see.
Well, we were talking about the Packers, but before we get to the Packers, let me tell you a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We favor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Thursday night watching Thursday Night Football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with the Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, let's get to Thursday Night Football. Green Bay Packers staying home, hosting the Detroit Lions. A little NFC North showdown. Right now, the Detroit Lions are laying 1.5 on the road. If you want to take them on the money line, -122. Home dogs for the Green Bay Packers, +1.5. -112. You want to take them on the money line, +104. Over under is at 45. We'll start with the side, Elvis. I don't understand how people could take the Packers right now. I honestly can't. I think the right team is favored. I actually I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions laying the 1.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions on the money line, though. I'm with you. I don't see why. People are confident on the Packers. Yeah, I give them a shot to win the game in the divisional matchup there at home. I give them a shot to Aaron Jones will be in the lineup. Let's see if Christian Watson's able to go. Quad Alexandria, if he's able to go, I think that's be key if they're able to go, But
I'll real quick. I have the injury report. So Jair Alexander, he's questionable. David Bakhtiari is out.
Oof.
Aaron Jones questionable. Christian Watson questionable. And
if two of those if Aaron Jones and Christian Watson are a go, I think that line will drop just a little bit, maybe a pick 'em.
And
but I
Detroit
doubt it.
Lions is David Montgomery. He's questionable as well. But from everything that I'm hearing, it doesn't look like Christian Watson will play again. My question is, if you didn't play the first 4 weeks, why didn't they just put him on IR?
I guess they believe he'll be able to go week 2. Dude.
So he's a pussy. So he
might be.
He might be. He might be a pussy. Like,
He
are
might
we
be
in the NFL or not? Like,
he might be the Kawhi of the NFL. Who knows? Or still, he might still be in pain, man. Who knows?
So just put him on the either the doctors are lying or Christian Watson's lying, saying he's on track when he's not, because he's not practicing. He's not playing. Just put him on the IR, just like what they did with Von Miller. I just don't understand that. But yeah, that's very weird to me. But yeah, I cut you off. So you're leaning the Lions as well.
I'm taking the Lions on the money line. Shop around. I saw minus 118. I called at minus 122. That will be my play deal. With the Packers, to me they got lucky last week. Derek Carr goes down. I can make the case they're gonna win that game by 2 touchdowns, maybe even 17 points. They're up 17-0. Some in the third quarter, Derek Carr goes down. You guys are able to score 18 unanswered. You got lucky with that one. So I'm not gonna really credit them to win. To me, this right now, this team should be 1-2. So I think that's who they are, and I think Detroit Lions, they're for real. I think they're a playoff team. I think Jared Goff, he's on that stride. I'm not saying he's a top 10 quarterback. All I'm saying is, though, he's playing like one. So I like the Lions on this one, though.
Real quick, I want to ask you what your thought process is on the difference between taking the money line instead of just laying the 1.5.
Just because we've seen kickers miss, so it's always one. Like, don't get me wrong, Dill. I do think that they're going to win by 3. But would it shock me if, somehow they get a safety late or something like that, and it's a sloppy game like 24-23? Who knows? So always just, if it's under minus 130, just take the money line. That's how I'll do it. If it's under 130, take the money line. If it's under 130, lay the 1.5 or the 2.
Yeah, I mean, just with me personally, like I wouldn't do that just because you're paying more than you really need to, especially if, like you said, if you believe they're gonna win by 3, you might as well just pay the minus 108 instead of laying extra and giving more money to the book. So that's how I see it. But no, I agree with your point earlier. The Packers should be 1-2. I think they should have lost to Atlanta, and they blew that. And then Derek Carr, I think they should have lost to, and Jameis Winston. So I think offensively, they're hurting. Like, Jordan Love has looked, I won't say good. I think he's looked average. We'll say subpar, but which is kind of hard to do when you have Justin Fields and Zach Wilson in the league. But, they're going to be missing, like I said, David Bakhtiari's out. Christian Watson, he might not play. You got key people missing on that offense, which I think will hurt them. Lions, they just blew out the Falcons. The score might not say it, but yards, 358 to 183, and had nearly 3 more yards per play than Atlanta. So, like I said, that defense showed up. And Green Bay, they just faced the Atlanta team 2 weeks ago, and they lost 25-14. They allowed 446 yards to 224. Atlanta ran all over them. They ran for 211 yards. I just don't think this is a good spot for Green Bay. They got a ton of injuries, a very emotional comeback win in the late seconds in the fourth quarter to win last week. I don't like their offensive line. 2 starters are out. 1 is questionable. I think the Lions are going to create all pressure for Jordan Love. Going to be thrown into tight spots. I think Jared Goff is a better quarterback right now than Jordan Love. So I'm gonna lay the minus 1.5. I do think, I don't know if they cover. I don't know if they win by a touchdown, but they should win by 3-4 points at Lambeau. So I agree with you. I'm gonna take the Lions at minus 1.5. As for the total, 45.5. What is your play here, or lean if you don't really have an official play?
I have no official play deal. If anything, I'll lean the over. But I really have no. I wouldn't say no clue, but really don't have a good, feel on what the total is going to be, though, because I have a feeling, Detroit offense could explode, and then I feel like Packers could put up some points on the board as well. But I also think the Packers offensively could struggle. Like I said, if Aaron Jones not there, and without Christian Watson, and in that front, that Detroit front bringing that pressure there, I think Jordan Love could struggle. So it's gonna be a tough read. If he has a good day, yeah, they're gonna put up points. I think he'll go over. But if he struggles, when he throws for like $150 like he did week 1, though, I think they could. I think Detroit might ramhouse them.
Yeah, I stayed away from the total. If anything, I guess I would look team total under for the Green Bay Packers. It's sitting at 22.5. I don't think the Green Bay Packers score 23 points, to be honest. In my opinion, I just don't think with all the pieces that they're missing, Aaron Jones questionable, Kristen Watson questionable. They got 3 offensive line guys struggling. Yeah, they put up 38 points, but it was against the Bears. Then they lost to the Falcons, and then they put up 17 points, or they put up 18 points and that was all in the fourth quarter. So against a good defense that's playing well right now against the Lions, if anything, I would lean the team total under for the Green Bay Packers, 22.5. As for the full game, I could see both. I could see it going. I could see Detroit scoring a lot actually here. So if anything, maybe correlated your team total under for the Green Bay Packers and the team total over for the Detroit Lions is sitting at 23, just a point over. But as for player props, got some guys out, like I said, so not all the props are out. We're recording this a day before Thursday Night Football, but any player props you're looking towards?
So I'll lean both tight ends over just because they've been playing great, especially Musgrove, and then Laporta, the rookie, has been fucking balling out. I don't know if anybody got him on fantasy, but he's the number 2 ranked tight end. So go. And then, Dill, to be honest, I might regret this one, but come tomorrow, I might take Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown at plus 120, Dill. I think the rookie finally gets his first career touchdown on the road in Green Bay as a line, Dale. I think he gets his first. Especially if David Montgomery's not a no-go.
You're high on this kid.
You're the one that declined a trade. I tried to trade for him. You declined it. So clearly you're high on him too. Or you feel some type of way.
No, I just think you were trying to fuck me in a trade. I don't really like Jahmyr Gibbs. I think I thought he was going to be good. He was good in Alabama, but the way they're playing him right now, they don't give him enough touches. And even when he does, he doesn't really have that good of a game. Their offensive line is good, which is kind of worrisome. I think he's better catching the ball out of the backfield instead of running the ball. So yeah, I think his struggles continue, to be honest. But I agree on the tight end. I'm going to go Luke Musgrave over his reception yards. I got it at 38.5. It's up to 40.5 right now. But his first game, he had 50 catches. Against Atlanta, he had a down game with 25 yards. I said 50 catches, 50 receiving yards. And then last game against New Orleans in that come from behind victory, he had 49 receiving yards. So he's gone over this in 2 of his first 3 games as a Green Bay Packer. And the Lions, that's the one area that's very concerning. They can't guard tight ends. They're last in the NFL and DVOA in covering tight ends. So I'm actually going to go over his receiving yards and his receptions at 3.5. It's at plus money as well. He's only done this last game. He had 6 catches, but first game, he had 3 catches. Second game, he had 2 catches. I think him and Jordan Love are actually connecting a really good relationship, and that's all reliable, the tight end. So I'm going to go Luke Musgrave over 3.5 receptions at plus 112 and over 40.5 receiving yards at minus 110. Anything I missed or you wanted to cover in this game, kid?
Dill, I like the first half minus a half a point at plus 105, Dill. I think the plus 105 is what's catching me, Dill. To be up at half at plus 105, Dill. I think the lines are up 10-7, at least 14-7 at half.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, not key, but there's a lot of interesting things. Like I said, I actually like Jordan Love to throw an interception at plus money as well. I think they're going to get him the pressure. He's missing some offensive linemen. I think he's going to try to force it. I'm actually thinking Jared Goff under his passing yards, 254 and a half. He hasn't exceeded 254 in 8 of his last 11 road games, or 8 of his last 10 road games. He's averaging 242 yards on the road. So I know it's a tough place to play. It's not as cold yet, but I think Jared Goff, that doesn't struggle, but at 254 seems like a lot. So I'd actually lean under there. Like I said, I would lean under in the game. I'd lean under in the Green Bay team total, and I like Detroit laying the 1.5. But Elvis, any additional bets? WNBA has been really good for me as well. The Aces, they just keep covering. They're covering machines. Connecticut Sun, they won outright game 1 against the Liberty, and they lost game 2. So series is tied 1-1 going up to Connecticut right now. But anything catch your eye? Baseball, we're about a week away from the playoffs. Hockey starts in about 2 weeks. Basketball starts in a few weeks as well. Anything catching your eye?
Dale, in about 15 minutes, the Phillies are going to start playing. I do like the Phillies at home versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Phillies fighting in, trying to squeeze in, Dale. So I think they're going to take care of business at home, Dale. Minus 130 on the money line.
Yeah, the MLB plays that I have, anybody listening live, I have the Toronto Blue Jays against the New York Yankees at home. Just another reason the Yankees eliminated Toronto. They're still trying to keep up and hold that position in the AL wild card. Give me the Texas Rangers over 4.5 team total runs against the Angels. The Rangers are a juggernaut right now. And give me the Seattle Mariners on the money line plus 105 against Houston. I think Houston's broke a little bit. So should be a very interesting last couple of days in the AL West. All 3 teams still could win the division. So very interesting in the AL West. But Elvis, any last words before we get out of here, kid?
Nah, Dale, let's just keep it in the green, Dale. We had a great Thursday night last week, so let's just follow it up.
Yes, sir. And that's going to do it for this Wednesday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of Elvis, our sponsor, Viva Tequila, myself, we'll see you guys on Saturday. We'll recap Thursday Night Football. We'll get, early start time. We are across the pond, so set your alarms. Early start time this Sunday. But yeah, good luck on Thursday with all your bets. Follow along our social media, X and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, we go live every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on YouTube, youtube.com/the Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.